Alright, so to start our circuit, we're going to lay out all the components to see how they all fit together. We have our battery, our switch, our motor, and the wires that go in between. Here's a diagram to help you visualize how they fit and then how the solder joints are going. We're going to be soldering 6 areas. This is where we'll be soldering. Always best to start out by stripping the ends of the wires that we'll be using. Here I am stripping the 3 wires, and I'm also going to, even though they're pre-stripped, I'm going to strip the ends of our components just a little bit further so we have a little more wire to work with. Once we have that done, we can start putting the wires together. We're going to take the long black wire and we're going to solder it to the blue wire of the motor. Start by tinning the tip of my soldering iron, and then we will go ahead and solder. Now I have a couple of videos that help show soldering if you're new to it, or I also have a video showing some alternatives to soldering if you'd rather not solder. So we're twisting the wires together, and now we're putting the short red wire to the red wire of the motor. And remember that after you solder together the wires, we're going to take some black electrical wire and we're going to protect those solder joints by wrapping the tape around them. This helps the joints from touching each other and causing an electrical short. It also helps to make the connection a bit stronger. We're going to put the short red and the short black wires into the terminals of the switch now. I always find it easier to do these together because we can hold the switch in the helping hands by clamping in both of the wires. It holds it nice and tightly so we have a good grip on it. Those are 4 of the 6 soldering joints. So now if we put the battery snap on the battery and we just twist the wires together, we're not quite going to solder them yet. We're just twisting them just to test, first of all, that our circuit is working, and then also to see which way the motor is spinning. Ideally, you want it going counterclockwise just because of the way we're cutting the propeller. If it's not going that way, or if you've messed something up, it really is okay. All you need to do is either switch the wires, or we can end up doing the propeller a little bit differently. But once you have it where you want it, go ahead and solder up those last 2 wire connections by twisting the wires together, going through the steps of applying the solder to the wire. Once we're done with that, we can take all of our solder joints, make sure that they're insulated with the electrical tape, making sure they're strong, maybe even throwing on the battery and doing one last final test to make sure that everything is working and the motor is spinning the way that we want it to. Perfect. We'll move on to building the propeller.